this is how my problem started. I needed some divisions for this drawer in order to put a whole bunch of utensils in it. Right now, the utensil situation, as far as this particular one goes, it's non-existent. It's a mess. All right, guys, so I was actually trying to do something a little bit differently with this camera today, but I'm stuck doing this right now. Anyway, finally it's getting warmer and I'm just gonna start getting into this. I've been putting off building cabinets for this garage for quite a bit. So as you can see, the mess unfortunately is still here, but this whole section needs to be quote unquote redone. The grill's here. This guy, folks of you that know the Festool line, you know that. Just cases, Pelican cases, kind of Pelican cases, just storage cases, more storage cases. That's some tile that needs to go into a project that needs to be cleaned up. But in order for me to clean that up, even start cleaning it up, I need to get some sort of storage going. Therefore, I decided to build some cabinets. I have pretty much everything that needs to be used. I have the plywood over there, the base for the cabinets, at least the first set that's going to go on this whole end. All that. I do have a plan for, I can't remember whether it's here or right underneath the window, to put the miter saw. It's going to get upgraded, but miter saw that's going to go in one of these areas. The height of the cabinetry that I'm looking to build is right underneath the windowsill, probably right there. And I'm actually going to link that video. I think I posted it, either that or it's one of the things that I recorded but haven't got around to cleaning up yet. So it's in a certain state on a computer somewhere. But I did pick this guy up, the Massca Pro aluminum, the pocket hole jig. I was looking at the Craig line, but why didn't I go with that? It was either the fact that everything was just not necessarily modular. The plans are great, but it was something about it. I can't remember, at least at this point, but I decided to go, a different route just because I was familiar with the Craig line. I wanted something else just to see if it worked. And in doing the research and reading the reviews and actually talking with a few folks that have used them, they suggested this Massca, mostly because, this is why. Mainly because it's all metal pieces, not plastic, not anything that I'd be scared of, dropping or anything of that sort. But hey, huh? She's done? All right, hang on, guys.
Daddy,
yes?
that.
Okay. Okay. All right, so where was I? So yes, I was telling you the reason why I chose to go with the Massca. It's because this is all metal. It's aluminum. It's aluminum. Chances are it won't rust, and I get a good assortment of screws for exactly what I need to do right now, which is put some dividers in a utensil drawer, a kitchen drawer. All right, so I was telling you why I decided to go with the Massca. It's because it has pretty much everything that I need in one box. It has a vacuum port, all metal construction. It has levels, I want to say they are. I think they're levels. That's how I treat them. Supports. If I put the unit here, the ends for boards don't make it rock. They're just over here. They give it some more support. I got the drill bit for a 1/4-inch chuck. Let's call it a chuck. Let's call it a chuck. I have the feeder, the drill bit for the drills actually, and some other stuff. The Allen keys, the collar tie, I want to say. I think that's a collar tie. And then I've got the bad boy, along with the leveling rods and then the, call it leveling clamps. See, I'm giving them names. I have no idea what the manual actually says to call them. So I might be off with a good number of these. So Z is support block. These are support blocks. The rods are establishing bars? Really? Establishing bars? Okay, establishing bars, that's fine. That's what they want to call them. We'll call them that for now. To me, they're support bars. And there's the work. Whoa, that should be tighter. So this doesn't pop out as soon as I hold the part that I'm not supposed to hold to actually bring it out. All right, so this is just to the, for the depth of my material. I can go higher, as high as that, but then I have to factor it into the measurement, which I actually have the measurements over here. These go up and down depending on the thickness of the material. I want to say at the very base, it's, why is it wobbly? Allen keys. Okay, I'm going to tighten those. At the very base, it's 1/2 inch all the way up to 1.5 inches, which is the size of studs. And depending on the material, you can actually get a millimeter measurement as well. Again, vacuum port, that's full metal. Nice. Or is it some sort of plastic composite? I don't know. Ideally, you have your 2 screw holes that these fit in, that this fits in, and that's the drill depth that you want. How do you adjust the drill depth? It's interesting. Oh, this guy. I have a cameraman here that wants to be loud. No, let go of the camera. Yes, I am. Is that gonna fall off? No, it does not. That's cute. Okay.
It just keeps on going.
Yeah, it just keeps on going. Oh, I see, because all that is in here. Huh? We have to create some room for you. But yeah. What are you gonna do?
I just want to stand.
No, if you're gonna stand on this side, you have to do something. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I have to tell you what to do? To grab things? Okay, if I ask you to grab the support bars, what are you gonna grab? Support bar.
What's the support bar?
This.
Oh.
These are support bars. And what are these?
Look like chops.
They look like chopsticks? Yeah, so the support chopsticks. They go... okay, so Massca chopsticks. I think they go... No, Massca chopsticks.
Number what?
Massca chopsticks.
NASA, what now?
Massca chopsticks.
Say what?
You heard me. Go.
Master.
No, not master. Massca chopsticks.
Massca chopsticks?
Yeah. Then do that outside, not in the garage. All right. So
I still drove it though.
You drove what?
Probably running it.
You drove what?
The bike.
You rode the bike.
Yeah.
All right, so everything that I have, I like to at least take it apart once just to see what it's made of. All right, full metal, that goes back in here. And that just, it's a stop block or holder for the material. This is a really long piece of plywood, but that's essentially what I'm going to be working with. Yeah, and that holds it pretty firmly. And case in point, for material that's this long, you're going to need some supports, especially if it's lopsided like this, because it could rock. You don't want that rocking. That's where these support blocks come in conjunction with the bars. But I think you just fit them in and then they don't screw in. I think they just fit in but don't screw in. Ugh, okay. But on this side, I want to say that part actually screws in. No, it does not. Interesting. So that just slides in. Does it slide out? It does not. Okay. That way, and these hold it tight. This holds it tight. Okay. And that just does not seem like it's right. Yeesh. That's interesting. In my mind, that should fit down here as a stop block or support block. But I don't know yet. Yeah, I don't know yet. These, in order to use these properly, the chopsticks, I have to read the manual. I'm not going to do that right now. At least I don't want to bore you guys while I read a camera. While I read a manual on camera. All right. So essentially, this is a contraption. That's the support for your blocks, your cutting pieces, your drilling pieces. Drill depth. That's 3/4. Okay. So close it, measure the depth that you want, and then you release it, place the material, and then clamp. Well, I think instead of using the exact dimension here, go probably, I'd say, 1 stop beyond it. So 3/4, go 1 stop beyond it. And yeah, let me show you a close-up of what I'm talking about. So, case in point, this material is 3/4. This material is 3/4 inches thick. But over here, 3/4 sits right there. Right now, I've dialed it into what, 5/8? That's 6/8. Yeah, I've dialed it into about 5/8. And then it seems like that'll be a tight enough fit for this material, at least to clamp it down properly. And yeah, it seems a little rigid, but not rigid, but it seems a little hard to. But I like the way that it grips. It's not gonna fly out as soon as I start drilling. And I have these holes just in case I want to leave this this particular device fixed onto my surface. I have screw holes here, and I think they gave me screws for that. Yeah, I'd rather use something different, but they gave me screws for that, just in case I want this Massca fit, what's it called, stationary to like a piece of plywood or to my workbench or anything like that sort. I have the screw holes for it, which is good. So I don't have to go drilling holes into that to putting it on a device like that. Now I'm probably gonna have to read this manual. Just a little bit. Anyway, this guy is used to set the drill depth. I need to figure out how to use that. Adjustment, setting the drill bit depth. Oh, I think I know that. I think I know that. All right, so these are the holes that the drill actually goes into. Depending on the material, you have your graduations here. Yeah, let's show you this way. So, depending on the material, you have your 1.5 inch, your 1/2 to 3/4, your 7/8, your 1 inch, your 1/1/4, right there. Yes, this actually looks better. Now you can see it. So in this case, I'm working with 3/4 material. I'm gonna set it right there. So I'm gonna put this thing, that gear, let's call it a gear, I'm gonna set that into this hole right here. I'm gonna set that into this hole right there and use that as a guide for the depth of this drill. So that's for 1 inch. This is for 7/8. That's for 1.25. Yeah, we can see that way better now. That's for 1.25. That's for your stud material. 1.5, etc., etc. 1 to 1. Wow, words. 1.5. This is 1.25, 1, etc., etc. All right, so I just need the lowest depth right now, but right here it's set to 1/2 inch on this side. So all this goes into the fine tuning. Set this to your 3/4 because the material is 3/4 inches. Come back and double check with this guy. That's how deep this drill should go. At least now I know it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna hit the material down here, but in my mind it was supposed to be at the 1 inch mark. Not exactly sure why, but I'll do a couple of test runs before I actually run this. So essentially the material fits in here without the stop guide, I believe. And then we just drill this guy up to the depth. But what determines the depth here? Because this I can keep on pushing. Nothing tells me to stop. But I see. We have to set this drill depth independent of the material. So 1 3/4. I put that here, and I put what I call the collar tie on here. Hex. Put the collar tie, make sure it's loosened first. Put the collar tie down here. Make sure it sits flush, or maybe back it off just a little bit, and then tighten it down. There. That way I know if I drill however many times I repeat this, when I'm drilling, I'm not gonna hit the material here. I'm not gonna hit my my tool. I'm gonna screw this in, and it's gonna fall. It's gonna come just shy of my guide on the bottom right there. It's gonna be just shy of it. I'm not sure you can see it, but right there, it's gonna be just shy of it. And I can actually fine tune this a little more so it doesn't come as close. So, just little things to consider when you're using this Massca. I'd rather back it off just a little bit because one, the hole's gonna exist for my drills. The hole's gonna be there for my drill, but I do want a little bit of leeway, maybe a 1/4 inch or so. Maybe not a 1/4 inch, but maybe like 1/8 of an inch, just so I'm not blowing through the material, you know. That way, I'm 100% sure that once I have the appropriate screw and I have my drill bit, I can actually put the two pieces that I'm trying to screw together. I can put them together safely, carefully, hopefully with a clamp, because you do need those leveling clamps, and make sure this doesn't screw all the way through my primary material, so I can safely screw the two primary and secondary materials together and get a perfect joint. There's a little guide for the material thickness and the kind of screw length that you need, whether it's coarse thread or fine thread for the sort of material, and exactly how to do some of the more popular joints. This one I'm not familiar with. These other ones I am very familiar with. This one not so much, but that's a mitered corner joint, so pretty cool. Very, very cool. All right. My work is cut out for me. Let me get started with these things. I'm gonna put some of these screws away because I know for a fact I don't need the one that's gonna tie my tool down to the surface. I don't need that. I don't need this longer one. This is probably for 1.5 inches. This, I believe, is for the shorter ones, the 3/4 and the 1/2 inches. but I'm gonna double check. And that's a fine thread. Why is it a fine thread? Okay. See, there's a little bit of research that you need to do with every single tool before you jump in. And it's also a good idea to share what your learning process is as you go along in finding out these little, call it nuances, when you're learning a new tool. Because the old vets, yes, they have their ways of doing things, but 9 times out of 10, a noob's perspective is best to help them see things differently. So I think I'm gonna love this Massca. If it doesn't live up to expectation, I'm gonna jump back on the Craig, but right now I think Craig needs a vacation, so I'm gonna stick with Massca. Sounds more exotic anyway. So in the meantime, in between time, I'm Cliff with Ovation Home Renovation, and yeah, let's build some stuff, because we definitely need it in this garage. All right, catch you later.